Angeles Lakers got great Game 1 performances from Lamar Odom and Luke Walton. Kobe had 22, and Tim Thomas was the big star and the surprise of Game 1 with 22 points and 15 rebounds. But Doug Collins tonight, all eyes are on Kobe Bryant.
Well, Kevin, for a reason. This guy is the key to this attack. Only 22 points in Game 1. They went for a lot of balance, but he feels he can get any shot at any time. You can see what he's done against his team, but the big number is when Steve Nash is on the floor against the Los Angeles Lakers for the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers have never beaten them. Can they do it tonight and take away home court advantage? Kevin, there's going to be some kind of drama here tonight. I am really looking forward to this game. Which Kobe Bryant are we going to see? How aggressive is he going to be early? And can that balance that the Lakers had in Game 1 come through once again in Game 2?
Our officials tonight, Joey Crawford, Jack Neese, and Michael Smith. This was the same crew that officiated the Clipper-Nugget game a couple nights ago in Los Angeles. Raja Bell thought he was hit. He throws up an air ball. Lakers will get it.
Well, I don't think he would have shot that ball short and not hit anything. So Kobe either got a piece of that or a piece of his hand. And you can see they tried to get Raja Bell out of the gates early. He was only 1 of 7 in Game 1. Never got into any kind of flow. Well, here's the answer. Kobe shoots it the first time he touches it.
And Nash comes up, a long rebound, and here is Phoenix's game. It goes out to Sean Marion. And here's Bell, who had a disappointing Game 1. And Boris Diaw, who may be the most improved player this season in the NBA.
Kobe's going to have that ball in his hands a lot early. Phil moved him into the guard spot of this triangle, so even if he doesn't shoot, he's going to be very involved.
It's a Thomas foul inside on the Phoenix Suns player who was signed in early March after being let go in November by the Chicago Bulls, officially let go in late February, and then signed. He was just sitting at home in Philadelphia. They reel him in when Kurt Thomas gets injured.
Well, think about Game 1, 15 defensive rebounds, which was a career playoff high for him. He hit his first 8 shots, had 22 points, and the man at the line, Kwame Brown, boy, what a turnaround it's been for him over the last 20 games of this season. His numbers averaging about 14 points, about 8 rebounds, and Game 1, 14 and 6. And now a legitimate threat to throw that ball down in the post to. And he has helped him tremendously over the last 20 games.
He's become the main part of their game plan.
Well, they'll throw the ball into the post, and now here's a charge on Smush Parker. The big thing with Kwame Brown is just to take his time, Kevin. As a young player early, he was in such a hurry all the time. He's settling down, he's maturing, getting more confidence, and he's really growing into his position.
Slowing down,
and he's playing a center now rather than as a forward. They've moved him to center, and that's his best spot.
This is Tim Thomas, picked up by Kobe Bryant. In Game 1, the Phoenix Suns had a 39-point first quarter. Great feed as Kobe finds Luke Walton.
How good has Luke Walton been? 19 points, a career playoff high in Game 1. Great passer. He has been a big part.
Here's Nash. Steve Nash. It's got his first 2. Yeah, Walton has really changed the face of this Laker team over the last couple weeks.
He's really helped, I think, Kwame Brown and Lamar Odom. He's a great passer. You can put him down in the post, he'll throw the ball in the post. And I think that's important that he trusts his inside people. He will deliver the basketball.
That's a shove and a foul. Luke Walton picks it up. Walton's first. He was injured early in the season with a hamstring, has come back, and now in great health and playing well.
See, Kevin, I talked about that Phil's moved him into the guard position in the triangle, so he's handling the ball a lot. So even if he doesn't take a lot of shots, he's going to have that ball in his hands, and he can pick and choose when he wants to get involved.
Yeah, he complained about his rhythm the other night as Marion misses there.
Oh, slow start here for the Phoenix Suns.
And here is Odom. Mike D'Antoni will tell you what fears Odom as much as anybody for reasons like that. A good feed inside to Brown.
Well, Tim Thomas has already picked up 1 foul. He's got to be very careful. They need him on the floor. And those point-blank shots, all they do is continue to give Kwame Brown more and more confidence.
Around the screen, here goes Nash taking it inside. The foul. Smush Parker picks up the foul. Parker had a couple 10-day contracts with the Phoenix Suns a year ago. Parker picks up number 2. And Doug, here are some of your keys to watch tonight.
Well, you know, you take about pace of the game. Phoenix wants in at the Indy 500 speed. LA really wants to pick and choose their spots. Throw the ball in the post, control tempo. LA, they want the same script with a different ending. They'd like to be close, and they feel like that Kobe is not going to go 3 for 11. They were actually up 1 with about 10 minutes to go in the game. Can the LA starting front court come up with a game that they had in game 1? 54 points and 26 rebounds. And the Suns actually won that game at the free throw line. They took 35 attempts, made 32. They averaged 18 on the season. They cannot count on winning that game at the free throw line. It's got to be points off turnovers, three-point line, get some action in the paint. They were a little out of character and were still able to win that game 1.
The free throw thing was really eye-popping.
Oh, that was amazing. It's mostly shot all season long.
They go inside. Brown tried to find Odom, and that's a Phoenix foul inside the paint. Sean Marion will pick up his first personal foul, another valuable part of this Phoenix team.
See, one of the things Phil Jackson talked to us about the game, LA got themselves in trouble. They got the Suns into the penalty early in the quarters. And you see those 32 free throws. That was the difference in the game.
And Sasha Vujicic in with the miss right there. Parker's on the bench with his 2 fouls. Here's Nash, deflected by Vujicic. And outside the shot clock at 18 seconds.
One of the things the Lakers want to do, Kevin, is be very selective with their three-point shooting. They average about 19 a game during the regular season. They took 21 the other night, 5 of 21. Long shots mean long rebounds. They took 17 in the second half.
This is Diaw from France, rebound by Kobe and the Lakers. But they don't want to shoot the Lakers too early in the shot clock.
And they don't want to launch a lot of threes because that plays into the running game.
Look at the nice pass by Bryant into Brown.
They've gotten him involved early. He has 5 quick points of the 7 for the Lakers. And 2 of them, both field goals are dunks.
Diaw into Brown, and a foul goes on Kwame, the #1 overall pick a couple years ago by Washington, tagged with his first.
Getting Kwame involved early, that means he'll rebound and defend better, slow, weak side rotation. And you can see Kobe Bryant has made 2 great passes, one to Luke Walton on the break for a layup. He finds Kwame Brown. As I said before, Kwame has 2 dunks and a free throw, so he's off and running early in this game. He missed 3 or 4 point-blank shots in that first quarter of game 1 because he was just a little bit too anxious. Those dunks will really raise his level of confidence.
The dunk, the forwards, we talked about it, Odom along with Walton, and then Brown in the middle. And what they did was really eye-popping, as we said before, in that game 1.
See, Kobe's got the ball the whole time. He's playing as a guard right now, so he's creating all the offense.
It's stolen by Marion on the errant pass by Walton. It's the first turnover by the Los Angeles Lakers. Thomas for 3.
Well, he could be feast or famine. He was feast in game 1. Hit 4 or 5 from the three-point line, 22 points. That's big because he will draw Kwame Brown out of the paint.
Bryant knocks it in. His first hit from the field. He's got 2 in 4 minutes.
One of the things also to watch, fast break points for the Suns. The Lakers do a great job getting back on defense, Kevin. Second best in the league. We got a little skirmish here between Vujicic and Kobe Bryant. Comes over and says something to Steve Nash. The playoffs have begun, Kevin. This is only game 2. Can you imagine if it gets to game 7?
Vujicic is from Slovenia. He is a second-year player and a #1 pick, 27th overall a season ago by the Los Angeles Lakers. And then Kobe gets involved.
Yeah, tempers are flaring here early. You can feel how important this game is. The Suns know if they win, they go up 2-0, commanding position. If the Lakers win, they have home court advantage. So this is such a pivotal game. And Kevin, we've already seen in game 2 that Washington goes in and breaks through, and I thought Sacramento was going to break through in game 2 last night against San Antonio. Pivotal game.
Doug, the Suns are already 6 of 6 at the free throw line. This is a team which averages only in the regular season 18 free throw attempts a game. They're already a third of the way there.
And you start getting the penalty early. Now when you drive the ball, you shoot free throw.
Oh, what a play by Kobe Bryant.
You can't guard that. I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, he made a great up and under fake, and then the defender came over, and he just threw it up over his outstretched hand off the glass with his left hand.
Parker's on the bench with 2 fouls for the Los Angeles Lakers. Nash nails it. So Nash has gone 2 of 2. He's got 4 free throws. He's got 8 points for the game.
I think Steve Nash just wanted to get himself revved up into this game. Sometimes as a player you do that. You get into a little bit of a skirmish, you get that blood flowing, get that adrenaline going.
Vujacic gets it, but Nash picks up the foul. He was out of position. First on Steve Nash.
Watch this up and under. Look at left hand off the glass. Tim Thomas coming over to try to help. Neither team has shot blocking. So one of the things you should be able to do is go to that rim and either get fouled or get a pretty good shot at the basket, because neither one of these teams block shots.
Kobe has started 2 of 3 for the Los Angeles Lakers, with 5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Shot clock is at 4. Odom diving inside.
See, Lamar Odom had to roll over and get the Kwame Brown on the rotation, and then just a nice pass.
Thomas has hit a 3 already. Diaw, Nash. Raja Bell's been quiet. Another 3 by Thomas. Rebound by Walton.
See how they really space that floor, dribble, penetrate. They know where the shooters are. That was a good shot, just didn't get it to go.
Defensive 3.
You know, Kevin, so much has been made of going into this series. The Lakers had a decided advantage size-wise on that front line, getting the ball inside to Kwame Brown, Lamar Odom, even Luke Walton in game 1. Kobe steps up and makes the free throw. And I think the fact that they had success in game 1 makes it them stay with their game plan. And there's Amari Stoudemire. Obviously, the Suns would love to have him. Kurt Thomas is already hurt. I mean, is hurt as well. I mean, he's their best post defender. So the Lakers are going to throw that ball on the block, and then they hope Kobe can take over and deliver.
This is Lamar Odom. He came in the Shaquille O'Neal trade. He's got 4 points for the Los Angeles Lakers. Began his career with the Los Angeles Clippers.
Keep your eye on this matchup, Vujacic and Nash.
Nash for 3. The Phoenix Suns took and made more 3-point shots than anybody in the NBA this season.
And the Lakers actually held them below their average in game 1. They averaged over 10. They had 9, 5 in the first quarter, and then didn't get any more until the fourth, where they had 4.
LA from the field has gone 7 of 10. Brown doubled and picked up by Raja Bell. And here comes Nash. Kobe's on him. Pick and roll with Marion. Odom is right there.
Nice job on the rotation by Luke Walton, where he got there quick enough to where he made Nash lost that ball and they could come over and get a piece of it. That was a nice defensive rotation.
With the shot clock down to 7. It's Bryant, who has started 2 of 3.
He's unbelievable. He is the best player in the NBA, the most talented player in the NBA. Like he said, he can get any shot anytime he wants against this team.
Nash for 3 at the other end. Nash has a game-high 11. Kobe has 8. Here comes Bryant. Doug mentioned before, more of a guard role and holding the ball. A lot of touches, but throws it away right there. The pick-off by Nash. 3rd turnover. Nash. It's Bell for 3. It's a foul on Luke Walton. Second on Walton. And Smush Parker, their starting point guard, is on the Laker bench, and he already has 2.
And Kevin, the Suns are going to need Raja Bell. He's a big part of this team right now. He's not shooting the ball well.
If Nash indeed has won the award, as it looks like he has, he's only the first player to do it since Tim Duncan did it in 2002, 2003. Michael Jordan did it twice in the 1990s, and our own Magic Johnson, Kevin, did it in 1988, 1989, and 1990.
How about that? Well, you know, last season when Nash won the MVP, he got a lot of congratulatory calls, but he said the one that meant the most to him came from 1957 MVP Bob Cousy, who Nash has studied a lot as he has watched his career grow.
Well, you understand, you threw all those names up there, 37 NBA titles. That's what Stevie Nash wants. He wants one of those rings.
Devin George has come in for the Los Angeles Lakers. Brown remains. Kobe's in there. Odom with the ball. Vujacic is in there for Parker with 2 fouls. Barbosa has come in and already made his presence felt for the Phoenix Suns. Raja Bell remains with Nash and Thomas, and Marion with the ball.
Steve Nash carrying the load right now for his team. Kept 13 of the 18 points. Some of the guys on his team are going to have to start making some shots for him.
And here's Marion. Rebound by Kobe Bryant, who has already picked up 5 rebounds and had 2 assists earlier in the game.
And 8 points on 3 of 4 shooting.
And this is Kobe again. And picked up by Tim Thomas. Suns -3 in rebounding so far. Nash on Vujicic.
Well, Nash realizes right now that the rest of his team is struggling, can't make a shot. So he is doing what MVPs do. He knows that he needs to shoot right now until the other guys can get themselves going.
Bell is guarding Kobe. Bell thought he looked lazy as he watched the tape of game 1.
I said he never got into it. He said he think a big part of it was that Kobe wasn't real aggressive, so he wasn't real aggressive defensively.
Devin George missed 3, picked up by Brown. Good offensive rebound by the Laker 5th-year player who didn't go to college, came right out of high school to the NBA.
See controlling the tempo.
Kobe Bryant working on Bell.
Well, there's the history there.
Yes,
Remember
there is.
early in the year, they had a little flare-up, and Kobe cracked him in the face early in the season. These guys will go after each other. That's a respect factor. And you saw Bell as he was falling down. He hit Kobe in the head. So these guys are going to go after one another.
Doug, it goes back to the beginning of this decade when Bell played for the Philadelphia 76ers and defended Kobe well in game 1 of the finals.
Actually, Philly won that game and then lost the last 4.
Barbosa.
Bell can get himself going by making a shot or getting to the foul line.
Inside. Picked up. Here comes Odom, who played the point while with Miami, so he's a great ball handler. It's his growth, which Phil Jackson said early in the season would dictate just how far the Los Angeles Lakers would go.
3-second violation against Kwame Brown. What's happening is Sean Marion is trying to spin Odom to the baseline, and the Suns are trying to run over and get a little double team on that baseline. Kwame got caught on that weak side in the lane.
The Los Angeles Lakers have led by as many as 3. The Phoenix Suns have led by as many as 2. Balance has been the key word for the Lakers in the last part of the season coming into the playoffs. Kobe only had 22 points, Doug, the other night in game 1. 20 points below what he's averaged against the Suns, but he said, listen, I can get my shot any way I want against any team, or even this team, the Phoenix Suns.
But you know, it did not work against the Suns, and Kobe's smart enough to know that. He averaged 43 points a game. They only won 1 of the 4 games, and Nash did not play in that game, so they said, we got to take advantage of what we do best. Throw that ball in the post, play, and then Kobe take over. He was 3 for 10 in the last 10 minutes when the game was a 1-point game. Don't expect that to happen tonight if the game is close.
Eddie House has come in for the Phoenix Suns. Here's Diaw. Nash is out. Diaw against Odom. Marion trying to grab the ball. Shot clock reset. Barbosa. And Barbosa, who had 15 points in game 1, rebound by George. Parker's on the Laker bench with 2 fouls. Luke Walton is on the Laker bench with 2 fouls.
Steve Nash 4 of 5 tonight. The rest of the team 1 for 12.
Kobe's 8. Well, you thought one of the things the Lakers had to do was make Phoenix not a 3-point shooting team, but a 2-point shooting team.
Run them off that 2-point line. Phil Jackson knows that. This man's got 9 championship rings. You run at them, you made them put the ball on the floor, but what you don't want to do is foul them. And that's exactly what happened in game 1. They were racing them off the line, but they gave them 35 free throws.
So here come the Suns shooting 29% in this first quarter. Remember, they had 39 points in the first quarter in game 1. Barbosa, House for 2.
Now this guy can get it going. That's why he's in the game right now. Mike D'Antoni recognizing his team is struggling making shots. He comes in with Eddie House. This guy's instant offense. Remember, this guy scored 61 points in a college game when he was playing for Arizona State.
Lakers have turned it over 5 times in their last 6 trips down the floor. There's a whistle and a foul. It's inside, it's on Barbosa. First on him. Dave, what do you have?
Well, guys, just to update that little mini confrontation with Steve Nash and Sasa Vujicic. They both did receive technical fouls on that, so keep an eye on that going down the stretch.
That's a good point, David. The next one, they're out of the game, so very, very good point.
Nash is resting his sore back on the floor. That's another turnover. 6 turnovers in the last 7 Laker trips.
See, Kwame Brown was wide open on that play, but he took his eyes off the ball. Kevin, I'm going to give you a little football analogy.
Yep.
It's like a wide receiver going over the middle, getting ready to get hit, and you look at the guy and you forget that you got to catch the ball.
I like that. Here's House. Deflected nicely by Odom. Picked up by Kobe Bryant, 3 of 5 with 8 points. Vujacic for 3. And that is a Laker three-point shot. Their second of the night. They're 2 of 4.
If they can keep the disparity close at the three-point line, they got a great chance to win this game.
There are no fouls to give either way in the final half minute of this first quarter. You've seen the Suns lead by 3 and the Lakers lead by 3. Morris Diaw. Eddie House for Pac-10 Player of the Year. There is an offensive foul, and Diaw picks it up.
Boy, the Lakers are doing a nice job defensively. They are well prepared. You look at their team out there on the perimeter. Kobe Bryant, 6'6" or 6'7". Vujacic is as big as Kobe's size by 6'7". You have Devin George, so their wing players are big. So you can switch and trap and do a lot of different things, and you have good rebounding on the floor. This Laker team is playing the best I've seen them play. Phil Jackson's done a great job of developing this team over the season. We saw them early, Kevin. They were not very good. A good basketball team now.
James Jones has come in for Raja Bell. You've always admired the way, and you've said this earlier in the season on other Laker broadcasts, that you like the way that he keeps them organized. And here is Brian Cook.
This guy can shoot the ball. He was 2 for 7 in game 1. So all of a sudden you've seen Vujacic come in and knock down a shot.
Time's running out. Here comes Kobe Bryant. And Vujacic cannot hit at the buzzer, but a much better Laker first quarter than game 1. Lakers take a 2-point lead into the second quarter.
Well, shooting for the Phoenix Suns, unsunlike, that's for sure. 6 of 18. And Steve Nash was 4 of 5. The rest of the team 2 of 13. As a result, the Suns have only 2 assists. And Kevin, if you take the last 5 quarters of basketball, the Suns had 19 in the second quarter of game 1, only 17 in the third quarter, and then tonight only 22. So the Lakers have got them playing the pace they want to play.
Kobe Bryant gets it. Parker back out there. Walton is out there. Devin George and Brian Cook. And Kobe Bryant now has 10, the first Laker in double figures. As Doug, the Lakers are on a 7-0 run. Here's Diaw. He's out there with House and Thomas. Barbosa along with James Jones. Nash begins the second quarter on the bench. There's a quick foul.
They called that an offensive foul on Diaw. I thought initially that was a block on Luke Walton.
That's the second on Diaw.
So he got in foul trouble early in the first quarter the other day, never got in the game, so he's not in any kind of rhythm. So watch his left shoulder. Said he bumped him. Luke Walton was sliding sideways. He said he created the contact. Walton was terrific in the post in game 1, had 19 points. He's got a little fadeaway jump shot that he likes to shoot.
House picks up the foul on the driving Smush Parker. Sweaty House has bounced around the NBA. Last year with Sacramento, and this year for Mike D'Antoni, he's been terrific off the bench. As high a score as you'll find in the fourth quarter with big-time shots. In fact, he's averaging 8 points in the fourth quarter alone for this Phoenix team.
And Kevin, right now, Kobe Bryant is controlling this game. He's got it either in the post or out on the floor, picking and choosing his spots on his shooting.
He's 4 of 6, Doug, and he slashes it over to Cook with a second on the shot clock. Picked up by Barbosa. The Suns have turned it over the last 4 trips down the floor.
The Lakers have turned it over 8 times, but the Suns are not taking advantage of it.
Thomas.
Well, they are out of sync right now. They cannot find a field goal anywhere.
You like the shot discipline of the Lakers tonight, Doug?
I do. I mean, look who's controlling the ball. Now he's going to take it in the post. He'll read the defense. Look at this fading shot. And he's going to give somebody a wide open shot. Brian Cook, who's a terrific open shooter. So Kobe is controlling the pace of this game tonight, either out on the floor handling the ball or in the post.
10-0 Laker run. House for 2. Parker was defending. Walton with the rebound.
Suns depend so much on their shooting, Kevin. When they don't shoot well, you can see a little dejection in their face. They're going to have to play through this little dry spell that they have right now.
House another foul.
7 points is nothing for them, and that's 3 possessions.
Second foul called on House. He'll leave, and Raja Bell will come in. And here comes Steve Nash back in the game, taking the place of Leandro Barbosa. Nash, the best Canadian player before Nash was a guy named Leo Routens, who played back in the mid-'80s for a couple of seasons. He was 6'8". Los Angeles, by the way, has gone on a 10-2 run with Nash out of the game and rested.
Well, they've got some nice help off their bench. Vujicic has done a nice job. He has 3 points, played good defense. Cook has 5 after a 2-for-7 game 1. The Suns, on the flip side of that, only 2 points off the bench. Got 30 during the season from their bench.
Kobe Bryant, rebounded by Jones. Remember, it was his second quarter in game 1, which they struggled, and they struggled in the third quarter as well. Jones, the former Indiana Pacer, for 3. There's a loose ball foul, and they're going to put it inside on the Phoenix Suns. Bell. Make it Thomas for the second time.
You know, Kev, one of the things that Phil Jackson is always, with his coaching, one of the things he really does well is he really does a good job defending the primary ball handler. If you watch Smush Parker right now, he's trying to make Steve Nash come back towards the ball every time to receive it so he can't catch it on the run. So as you watch that matchup, watch if Nash can catch it on the run and go with it, or if he has to come back, and now they can pressure him. So the plus-minus meter, most everything in favor of the Lakers. They have 16 points in the 2 areas, difference in the game.
It's Walton for 2.
Well, they are playing well right now. The Lakers are a very, very confident team. Steve Nash is going to have to give them an injection of MVP right here and put this team on his back and carry him for a while.
Phoenix haven't scored any points at all in the last 4 minutes. Going back to the late stages of the first quarter. Against Walton, it's Nash. That's a foul on Steve Nash, who picks up Doug his second personal foul. So Thomas has 2 and Nash has 2. And a timeout taken by Mike D'Antoni in the Phoenix sideline.
Well, you can see the Lakers. That's the second time now that Luke Walton has drawn an offensive foul. He got one on Diaw, this time on Steve Nash. They're switching a lot of those screen rolls. The Suns are stagnant right now. The Lakers are in a rhythm. You know, that's how they won in Chicago. They won with defense. They won with the triangle offense. They won with the greatness, obviously, of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. But they always had the anchor of defense.
Brian Cook. Jones defending. Either team made a change in their lineup coming out of that break. Here's the #1 scoring offense in the NBA. But the Suns scoreless their last 8 trips. There's a traveling violation. 6 turnovers now. Here's the interesting thing about the Phoenix Suns, Doug. #1 in points this year. #1 shooting team. #1 free throw shooting team in terms of percentage. #1 3-point percentage in the NBA. From above the arc. That's the first team in the history of the NBA to have those lofty numbers in those 4 categories.
And tonight, right now, they are 6 of 21 from the floor. They have 7 turnovers after Nash just turned that ball over. And this crowd, the energy's been deflated because the Suns can't make a shot right now. They need to go on one of those patented runs. The Lakers have taken the crowd right out of the game.
Nash with 15 and Kobe's got 10. Kobe has played every minute so far of the game, with 6 rebounds along with his 10 points. Here's Cook. Nice drop pass into Parker. A 14-0 Los Angeles Laker run.
See, the Suns are not getting anything easy right now because they're not stopping the Lakers, so everything they're doing is taking the ball out of the basket.
And as D'Antoni will tell you, their offense feeds their defense.
No question. And this guy right here is the only one making shots. He's going to have to try to keep them close until the other guys get going.
Mismatch with Cook. Walton to defend. Shot clock at 4 and a foul on Devin George.
That's a good foul by Devin George, though. You know, he's only going to play probably 10 or 12 minutes. He's really struggled with some foot problems. It was a big part of their Laker runs there when they won their championship, but has really struggled with his feet. And so he gets his first foul. He'll go out. He doesn't have to worry about giving fouls. And you don't give up a layup or a dunk.
You know, as we were talking today, getting ready for our broadcast, one of the questions on your mind, who can repeat their Game 1 performance? We've had so many great individual performances. Raja Bell with the miss.
Well, right now, none of the Suns have except Steve Nash. Raja Bell has not gotten in the game. Sean Marion doesn't have a basket. Tim Thomas has 1.
And there's a Suns foul. The Suns have been scoreless in this quarter. Find that James Jones picks up his first personal foul.
The guy who needs to get a field goal right now is Sean Marion. Just looking out there right now, he needs something to feel good about. He's playing defense. They're posting him. He's playing against a bigger post guy in Lamar Odom. They got him underneath the block, so he can't run out and get any fast break opportunities.
And he's a double-double machine. Parker inside schools Nash with a little banker.
Well, it's all working right now for the Lakers. They're up 13.
It's a 16-0 run by Los Angeles. Bryant guarding Bell.
See how they're forcing him to take two-point shots, chasing him off that three-point line.
You talked about that. Here's Thomas gliding inside. Tim Thomas fouled as he went inside, all that congestion in the lane.
Kevin, I'm going to go back to game one. When the Suns did not make a three in the second or third quarters, they scored a combined 36 points. They made 5 threes in the first quarter. They had 39. They made 4 in the fourth quarter. They had 32. If you take away the three, make them make twos, you take them totally out of their game plan. You see it's Steve Nash really and nobody else right now for the Suns.
Kobe Bryant has just picked up his second personal foul. Here comes Bell across the lane, wheeling inside. Walton was there, and Walton has just picked up his third personal foul.
That's a big foul because Luke Walton has played a very, very good game tonight. You know, he's not going to blow you away with statistics, but he just does all the little intangible things. He plays well in the triangle offense. Jimmy Jackson, who played for the Suns here early in the year, they picked him up after he was waived. There's Luke Walton's college coach, Lute Olson. Talk about a star around this area. This man owns college basketball in the state of Arizona, I will tell you that.
Nice move by Marion to get free of Kwame Brown, who's back in the game for the Los Angeles Lakers, and out of bounds it goes, and LA will get it.
Sort of a look of bewilderment right now. I don't know that the Suns have gone through many stretches like that this season where they just can't find a field goal.
Suns have been scoreless for almost 7 minutes. Bryant's got 10. Whistle, Thomas and Brown got tangled up down low. That's a foul on Tim Thomas, and that becomes his third personal foul. So Walton is on the Laker bench with 3. Tim Thomas, a low post presence for the Phoenix Suns, has 3. He'll go to the bench.
Now you got a problem because the Lakers are shooting free throws the rest of the way, and it's 6:47. So now every time Kobe Bryant gets down in that post or starts to drive and you foul him, he's going to go to the line. He shoots over 10 free throws a game on the season. So now free throws will start to add up. Kwame Brown, who was a 54% free throw shooter during the season, 4 for 5 in game one, has stepped up here tonight and made 2 of his first 3.
Doug, how has he changed in the 5 years? You drafted him, now you see him 5 years later with the Lakers.
Well, he's 5 years older. He's mature. He was 18 years old. A ton of pressure on him, being the first pick in the draft, and he slowed down his game. Here's Diaw unloading a jumper. He can't make that one. But Kwame is growing into being an NBA player. He was a high school player. He didn't have that much experience, and got a wonderful teacher right now in Phil Jackson and Kurt Rambis and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of guys working with him.
Jim Jackson, who has played for 12 different teams in his NBA career. That ties for the most teams in the history of the NBA. Nice shot at the other end, put in by Raja Bell.
Well, that maybe will get them going, Kevin. Phoenix is capable of a 20-0 run themselves, but right now the Lakers are so efficient offensively, Kevin. They're shooting 62%. The Suns can't run if you have to take the ball out of the basket. They're not getting any defensive stops.
That breaks a 19-0 Los Angeles Laker run. Odom inside, corkscrews for 2.
So he is so quick. He's bigger than Sean Marion, and he's got him by about 30 pounds. That is a tough matchup. That's the one matchup that Mike D'Antoni was so fearful of, even with Kobe Bryant out there.
Odom's got 6. Nash snaps it out to Marion. Missed 3. A Jackson rebound. Jackson, who's in his mid-30s, comes in for a second offering. Here comes Nash. Another rebound. This is the transition game that Phoenix thrives on. Great inside pass.
Well, they got to stop. Quick shot by Jimmy Jackson. I don't think Phil Jackson wanted that shot. And they finally get a stop, and they run out. And more importantly, Marion sees the ball go in the basket. I think Phil Jackson's going to take a timeout and talk to his team. Shot discipline. Move the ball side to side. Get the ball in the post. We're in the penalty. Don't quick shoot right now. They're in a great situation leading by 14. And they're doing it. Kobe started out the game controlling the tempo. He picked and chose his spots to when to shoot. They're going to go right back in the post now to Kwame Brown against Diaw.
Out of bounds off the Los Angeles Lakers. Out there with Brown and Jackson, Kobe Bryant, Smush Parker, and Lamar Odom. Marion, Bell, Nash, Barbosa, and Diaw. Very small lineup for the Phoenix Suns in the game right now.
The Suns need some kind of run right now. They need something to get themselves excited about.
Bell tried it. Foul as he took it inside. Jim Jackson was defending on the play. May have drawn the foul. He has. That's the first on Jim Jackson. The biggest note in this game so far. The Lakers went on a 19-0 run and held the Phoenix Suns scoreless for 7.5 minutes.
You know, Kevin, I was watching during that little stoppage of play. Kobe Bryant went over to Kwame Brown and was showing him in the post that you went too quick there. Look over your shoulder, feel the contact. Working with them, Kobe is such a brilliant post player. Michael Jordan used to do the same thing every day in practice. There's so much similarities there with Michael and Kobe, both brilliant low post players. But at that time, the biggest problem with Kwame is he wanted to do everything so quickly. And the Lakers coaches have said to him 2 words all season long: slow down, slow down. Well, he heard that same speech in Washington for about 3 or 4 years. But, you know, right now I think he's a little more receptive to listening to it.
More accountable.
And he's older, yes.
Odom inside. Slides for 2. And Lamar Odom has got 8 points, 2 rebounds. What a wonderful compliment he is to Kobe Bryant.
He's a load down there on that block. He is a tough low post player.
As is Walt.
Quick.
Well, again, trying to keep it alive. Player that was born in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Diaw, who was born in France and raised in France. Here comes Kobe Bryant. He was raised in Italy.
See if Kwame takes his time now. See, that's what he just talked about. Take your time.
That's a travel on Kwame Brown.
Sometimes his base is not good. He gets his feet too close together. Got to get his feet shoulder width apart. Look how big and strong Kwame is. He's 270 pounds. He just has to get a better base. You know, Phil told us earlier in the year he thought he was a 2-year project, remember, in that low post. So,
well, when Chris Mim was injured, that's when the door really opened for Brown. He's averaged about 12 points since Mim has left, and outside of 3. And that's up and in by R1G2, one of the top 3-point shooters this past regular season in the NBA.
And listen to this crowd. They're so used to those threes just falling at will.
Bell's got 7. All have been accumulated here in the second quarter.
Remember, now they're in the penalty, so if they drive, Kobe drives, he's going to be shooting free throws.
Jackson has come off the bench. The shot clock at 3. Parker for 3. Jackson tries to tip it in. There's Sean Marion with the rebound. Marion, the number 3 rebounder, galloping the other way. Barbosa, Bell, Nash. Odom's on him.
Steve Nash had a 3 there, thought he could drive it, but Odom read it well.
Nash for 3. Kobe's got a rebound, collecting his 8th rebound with 4 assists and 10 points.
Controlling the whole game. He's going to have a triple-double here before it's all said and done.
Kobe has not scored in the second quarter, except for 2 points early on. Since then, very quiet. And picks up a foul right there. Kobe Bryant has now 3 fouls for the Los Angeles Lakers.
But he's more involved in this game than he was in game 1. You know, he said the other day he never got into a rhythm. He's in a rhythm. He did pick up his 3rd foul. He's going to have to sit. Now the big thing is with 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go, Kevin, and Kobe sitting down, can the Suns make a push here?
Vujacic takes his place. This is the first time that Bryant has been on the bench the entire game. Here's Diaw, wide open over Brown, who is slow to close the gap. And now the run for the Suns is on. After getting whipped on a 19-0 run by the Los Angeles Lakers, it's an 11-4 run by the Phoenix Suns.
See, Kwame's just sort of laying in the lane and trying to protect against any kind of drive. So Diaw will be open on that perimeter.
Marion guarding Odom. And Vujacic for 3. Another one for Vujacic. And the Lakers, Doug, have gone 4 of 7 above the arc. The Suns, 3 of 10 shooting threes.
Well, if they outscore the Suns from the 3-point line, they will win the game. The Suns, I told you, had to have a big disparity there. There's Bell once again. He's hit 2 in a row.
R1G2. Parker falls. And a timeout taken by the Los Angeles Lakers. And the arena has come back to life. 11 Los Angeles turnovers. In Game 1, the Phoenix Suns won by 5. This is Game 2, and you're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT.
So the Lakers have taken all those fast breaks away, and they're getting nothing in the paint, and their threes aren't going right now. As a result, they're down 9 and only have 36 points.
And Kobe Bryant is on the Laker bench with 3 personal fouls. There's a foul on Diaw. Boris Diaw picks up his 3rd personal foul. So Kobe's got 3, Diaw's got 3, and here comes ex-Laker Brian Grant into the game for the first time. A guy who missed more than half the season with knee surgery, but he is back now and ready for the playoffs in a much-needed low-post presence.
And they didn't hardly be able to use him the other day because he had came to the game with food poisoning and was only able to play like 4 seconds in that game, but they're going to need him tonight.
Here's Kwame Brown. He's got 6. Parker's got 4. Odom's got 8. Now he's got, with that 3, he has 11 points and 7 registered here in the second quarter.
And all this is being done with Kobe sitting down with 3 fouls.
Tim Thomas has 3, and he's on the bench as a rejection by Brown and the shot by Barbosa. Remember, it was Tim Thomas who had 22 and 15 game 1. Very quiet tonight as a starter with 3 points and 4 rebounds, but now with 3 fouls on the Phoenix bench.
And we talked about who was going to be able to come back and bring the game they brought in game 1.
It's Brown against Trent, counted for 2 and across the lane. It's Kwame Brown with Kobe on the bench and some foul issue. Now it's a 14-point Los Angeles Laker lead.
Read Kobe's lips. He said, "What did I tell you? Just take your time." The little running jump hook. And right now, the Lakers are going in the post. They're shooting the 3. They're getting back defensively. Got to the penalty at the 6:47 mark, but really didn't take advantage of it. This is their first free throw since then, but a 15-point lead. And the Suns right now are stunned.
Only 2 points off the Phoenix bench tonight.
That's going to be a flagrant foul if they're not careful. It's going to call. I went right to his head. So there's a turnover, 2 free throws, and the ball. I mean, this could be a 4-point or 5-point play. You're down 15. Steve Nash with a very careless pass here behind his back. Smush Parker reads it and goes down, and you see that Brian Grant there really didn't make a play for the ball. Went across the top of his head and shoulders. So it's going to be 2 shots and the basketball. And again, I reiterate, Kobe is on the bench with 3 fouls. So the Lakers are actually extending their lead with him sitting down.
There is Parker at the line. Tomorrow, NBA TV gives you Game 3, Indiana, New Jersey. Friday, ESPN, Cleveland, Washington, Game 3. Phoenix, Lakers, Game 3. Friday, ESPN 2, San Antonio, Sacramento, Game 3. Sunday on ABC, Miami, Chicago, Game 4. Phoenix, Lakers, Game 4.
Kevin, you and I tomorrow will be flying to Denver. Interesting game tomorrow night you will have there. We got the Clippers up 2-0 against Denver. Denver reeling right now. Suspension to Kenyon Martin. It'll be interesting to see how the Nuggets attack Game 3, and can they make that a series?
The Suns cut the lead to 9, 45-36, as you take a look at Phil Jackson, who says, Doug, this is as good a coaching job as he's done in his 15 seasons as a head coach.
Well, that's pretty high praise because, I mean, he's got 9 rings.
It's Odom. The shot clock was only at 13. Marion. Barbosa. Rejected by Odom inside, and here comes Smush Parker.
Giving him nothing on the fast break. Odom missed that shot and actually got back and blocked it.
Isn't that something?
They are scrambling. They are all over the floor right now. Their defense has been tremendous.
No fouls to give either way. It's Parker and Bell trying to beat the buzzer. Vujacic chasing. They're going to have to look at it. They're going to count it for 2 right now, but they'll have to go back and look at the replay.
That's going to be very close because that ball was in the palm of his hand as he was laying that thing up. We'll have to take a look. This could be a big play right here. Oh, it looked like it's out of his fingertip right at the last moment. Big turnover there by Smush Parker. The worst thing you want to have happen there is get a shot at the basket. Oh, that ball looks like it's still on his fingertips. I don't think that's going to count.
Well, in the first half, the Lakers went on a 19-0 run, countered by a Phoenix 11-4 run. Phoenix had a span in that first half where they went scoreless for 7.5 minutes.
Kobe goes into foul trouble and with 3, and the Lakers still outscore them by 4 points with him sitting on the bench. Kevin, a couple numbers. Raja Bell, Steve Nash, 8 for 14 from the floor. The rest of the Suns, 4 for 21.
Odom is in there. Walton's got the ball. Brown is underneath. Kobe's doubled on the other side. Parker's on top. That's the Laker 5. Lakers in that first half had a 19-0 run. Smush Parker. Rebound by Marion out there with Nash and Diaw and Thomas and Raja Bell as we start the second half.
And I remember now, early in the year against the Sacramento Kings, or late in the year, the Suns gave up 77 points, were down 20 at half, and came back and won that game. So let's see the spunk that they have. There's Walton reading it, knocking away. That's Nash. 5th turnover.
Odom had 11 points and a couple rebounds in that first half. He had 21 points in game 1. It's Kobe Bryant knocking it down, and Kobe now with his first field goal since the 11:44 mark of the second quarter. He's got 12 for the game.
Let's watch all the purple jerseys swarming that painted area.
Tim Thomas, who had 3 early fouls, hits for the first time in the second half.
They have Lamar Odom bringing the basketball up now to facilitate the offense, so you can see his versatility. Letting Kobe go off the ball now and be more in the scoring area in the triangle.
Which is counter to the way the game began, because Kobe brought it up and had a lot of touches early in the game.
They've moved him around, which is what Phil likes to do.
Marion with another rebound. And here comes Nash. We opened our broadcast tonight by telling you that the Arizona papers reporting that he'll be named the MVP, missing inside. Brown with the defense for Los Angeles.
You know, they're not a shot-blocking team, the Lakers, but they're doing a good job of contesting shots.
Foul called. Tim Thomas was defending along with Bell, and Raja Bell picks up the personal foul. David, what do you have?
Well, guys, at the half, the Suns talked about both ends of the floor, like you said, Doug. They felt like they were getting body blows at the other end, and they weren't fighting back on defense. And that led to them being stagnant on offense. They think they've got to start with defense, and that will get them going and get some runouts at the other end.
Right? That's so great, David, because, you know, what people don't realize in this business, if you have bad offense, then it leads to bad defense. And the Suns were terrible offensively. You got to give the Lakers a lot of credit. And then the Lakers were able to shoot a high percentage, and they got back and took the Suns out of everything they wanted to do.
Luke Walton has just picked up his 4th personal foul for the Los Angeles Lakers. Here's Thomas and Nash putting up a 3. And the Phoenix Suns have hit their 5th three-point shot, matching the 5 hits above the arc by the Lakers tonight.
Still so much time in this game. The Suns are such a spurt team.
Odom against Miriam. Those are Olympic teammates. They're guys that had a brush with UNLV in their careers. It's been one of the great matchups in the early part of this series. Bell and Nash again.
Suns got a little bit more bounce in their step right now. The question is going to be, can they stop him defensively? Because Odom's getting in the paint. Kwame Brown is in the paint. You know, back door to Walton, who misses on the lob. I don't think that's a good play that time with the Nash trying to make a run here.
Nash, #1 in assists in the NBA, and finding one inside right there with Boris Diaw. Are you surprised the timeout's not been taken by Los Angeles?
Well, you know, Phil likes to let the team work it out. He's got Kobe out on the floor with 3 rings. This is where he wants him to control it. Well, listen to this crowd now. They are into the game.
Diaw defending Walton.
3 bad possessions in a row for the Lakers. Let's see if the Suns can take advantage.
Nash inside. Intercepted by Parker.
That's 6 turnovers now for Steve Nash. Getting in the air with no place to go, and the Lakers are really reading passing lanes.
6 turnovers, Doug, and only 3 assists for Steve Nash.
His teammates aren't making shots, so he's sure not going to get any assists, but 6 turnovers. The only average is a little over 3 a game.
That's something. There's a foul. It's on Nash, I think, inside, who is defending. Let's see who they throw it on. It is. Nash has picked up his 3rd.
Steve's tugging on his shorts out there. He looks like he's a little winded. He looks like he's a little tired. I think he's trying so hard to get his team into the game. He's the emotional engine that runs his team. Everybody else feeds off of him.
He had a career-high minutes played this season.
So when you're struggling, though, go in the post. Throw the ball in the post. dictate the game and the score down there on the block.
Kwame Brown got it from Odom.
They'll live with him shooting that one.
Rebounding is almost dead even. Nash floating in right around Parker.
There's the timeout.
The Phoenix Suns are on an 11-4 run. Suns have scored the last 6 points. Nash is on fire, although he's got turnover problems tonight.
The Lakers have 18 points off turnovers tonight.
That's something. Neither team made a change during that timeout. Approaching 7.5 to play in the third. It's a wide open shot for Kobe Bryant.
Guess who they ran that play for when they needed a basket? You think Phil got the chalk out and said, I think I'll run something for number 8, who next year is going to be number 24.
Kobe has only taken 9 shots, Doug. In game 1, through 3 quarters, he only took 12. Tonight, he's got 14 points.
Yeah, but he's in a much better rhythm tonight.
Marion, he continues to struggle as Sean Marion has only scored 2 points.
He's 1 of 6 from the floor. He's only got 1 offensive rebound. His activity level is what makes him great. He usually works himself to a game, but look at Odom just attacking in that post.
Rebound by Thomas. One more note on Marion, who averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds a game. One of only 4 20 and 10 players this season in the NBA. His numbers have been there. He has been as consistent as any player on this team. Kwame Brown against the glass.
They just don't have any size into the Suns. They're rotating over a little pick and roll. We've seen Kwame get 2 dunks and a layup off that simple pick and roll because the Suns don't have the size to defend it.
National pick and roll with Knox.
Tell you, the MVP has got some heart. I'll tell you that. I'll go into a foxhole with this guy any day. This guy, if he's going to go down, he's going to go down fighting. And he's trying so desperately to keep his team in this game. They're within 10. He makes the free throw 9. And when you shoot the ball like the Suns do, that's only 3 possessions. They just got to hang around and hope they can get some stops. The problem you have, Kevin, is number 8 over there on the Lakers is into the rhythm tonight. And come fourth quarter, I don't think you're going to see a 3 for 11 from him.
Parker picked up his 3rd personal foul, and Steve Nash has now scored 10 of Phoenix's last 14 points in this third. This is Smush Parker, and a whistle blown before the shot was hoisted. Like R1G2 picked up a foul. He did. That's a 2nd on him. A guy who played for Utah last season, was the co-captain for the Jazz, comes and has a career year with Steve Nash at his side for the Phoenix Suns.
7 guys had career scoring years alongside Stevie Nash this year.
Brown from Odom. Marion defending. Diaw helping. And a 3 by Luke Walton. Rebound by Sean Marion.
They score here, this place will be up for grabs.
Marion for 3. Bryant, an air ball, caught by Diaw, 6-point game. Tim Thomas for 3. Kobe Bryant slides in for 2. The Laker lead was 17. And Phoenix has come back on a terrific run to begin the second half. Marion.
They've done it by getting some defensive stops, getting some 3s to go. This crowd is now in the game. The Suns cannot relax defensively because Kobe is on the attack mode right now. He knows his team is in trouble.
Odom inside, lasering it to Walton.
Oh, what
Great
a shot.
Play by Luke Walton.
What a shot by Luke Walton.
His dad, of course, Bill in the Hall of Fame. Nash, Mary Nash set a screen. Nash in front of Jackson for 3.
Oh, well, they got lucky there. They left him. And it's Lamar Odom on a switch, left Steve Nash. Nash very upset. That's one of the best shots he's had this half. to see a little fatigue right now here. The Lakers trying to slow this pace down a little bit.
Well, they're shooting pretty early in the shot clock too, Doug, as opposed to the first half.
Well, that's why the Suns got back in the game.
It's Bryant again. Walton tried to get it. Here comes Steve Nash. Phoenix shooting 67% in the third quarter. Rebound off the fingertips of Bell and picked up by Walton.
The Suns are going to live and die with those threes. I mean, that's their game.
They've taken 16. They've made 7.
They average 26 a game and making 10, so they're right on pace. That's a walk.
Shot clock is down to 3. And Kobe against Marion, a very good defender.
Wow.
That's a 2.
How about the degree of difficulty on Kobe's last 3 shots? I'd shoot about 20% if I took those shots.
Bryant's got 8 points in the quarter and 18 for the game. Game high 25 for Steve Nash.
Diaw's got to punish him down in the post down there. He's got Smush Parker on him, and he goes in there and flips a shot at the basket. He's got to go in there with power. Three seconds on Kwame Brown.
Again, there's a second one on Brown tonight.
The Lakers are giving him every chance to hang around here right here. They've gotten very sloppy, quick shooting, turning the ball over. Kev, look at this degree of difficulty. That's the third one he's taken. Foot on the line. You got to have the guts of a burglar to take those shots.
He's the scoring champ of the NBA and the highest average since Jordan back in the late 80s.
But that's the risk you run when you get behind. You have to put a lot of energy in catching up. And I'm telling you, Kobe's not going to shoot 3 for 11 in the fourth quarter tonight, so they cannot put themselves in a position where they're trying to play catch-up in this fourth period.
It's Thomas for 3. Marion with the feed. Rebound inside, claimed by Los Angeles. Out there with Cook now. Odom, Devin George. Kobe brings it up, and Parker in the backcourt with Kobe. Barbosa has come in for the Phoenix Suns. The only change for Phoenix and Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant has gone 9 of 14, 20 points, 9 rebounds in 30 minutes.
And they pushed that lead back to 11.
The Suns have missed 5 straight, now 6 in a row with the miss by Bell.
When you play bad offense, Kevin, what happens? And when the Lakers slipped up and they got sloppy, the Suns went at them and scored. Now the Suns 0 for 6, and what have they done? They've pushed it right back to an 11-point lead.
Kobe again, Bell defending. And Devin George tried to tap it in. Picked up by Tim Thomas. Mismatch with Cook for Nash. And it's a foul on Cook.
How many free throws have the Lakers? I think the Suns have only shot 1 free throw this quarter. They shot 8. They shot 8 in the first, 2 in the third, and 2 in the second, and only 1 in the third. So only 11 free throws, Kevin. Remember, they shot 35 free throws, so the Lakers have stopped fouling. They fouled in game 1. Tonight they're doing a better job of containing dribblers without fouling.
That's the way the Suns play. They foul the least of any team in the NBA.
The Suns are just fumbling passes and stuff. They are not crisp at all right now.
It's Bell for 3 for the Phoenix Suns. Right as the shot clock buzzer was going off. The Suns have put up 18 threes. They've knocked in 8. The Lakers have put up 10. They've nailed 5.
Kobe on that pinch post area, that's that foul line extended. He is so tough to play there.
Smush Parker faces a double. Thus, Odom is free because Marion went over to double, and there's the result.
That's what happens when you have to double team the post. Somebody's going to be open, and the Lakers are moving the ball. Again, Kevin, you talked about always answering with a big shot.
There's a Laker foul.
Every time the Suns make a little push, somebody makes a big shot. Remember in the first half, Vujacic made a couple. Cook came in and made a couple shots. Odom hits a 3 there. Luke Walton with an over-the-shoulder bank shot.
Acrobatic shot, exactly.
And I hadn't even said Kobe Bryant's name yet.
No. And he's 9 of 15. Nash inside. Steve Nash has got a game-high 27 points in 30 minutes for Nash. I don't know if he can rest.
Not tonight.
Usually he does.
And they got to play Friday, Sunday, and then possibly Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so the games are coming quickly now.
Suns have a foul to give. Cook, Parker, shot clock at 4. Odom and Bryant. That's a foul. It's on Cook inside for the Los Angeles Lakers. Second on Cook.
Watch Steve Nash. I had a coach tell me, Coach Ibe in the Olympics, he said, son, the essence of the game is deception. And you don't have to go 100 miles out of the time. You change speeds, use your body. And that's what Steve Nash does, changes speeds. He's like a great baseball pitcher. He's got a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and they can come back and throw you an 85-mile-an-hour curveball and just buckle your knees.
Doug, you know what's interesting about these two teams is they both came in with question marks. How would Kobe and Phil get along? How would the Phoenix Suns deal without Joe Johnson? I mean, these were the questions lingering as they began the year.
Remember, we did our little open. We had a little open in preseason. We talked about the Pacific Division. I said this might be a year when no team wins 50 games.
Yeah.
Well, the Suns did win 54, but I said Phil does not have to worry about Kobe Bryant. He's going to be in the running for MVP. His concerns are going to be Lamar Odom and Kwame Brown in the supporting cast. And as those guys have gotten better, the Lakers are playing much better.
Kobe Bryant, and picked up by Raja Bell. There's a difference of 3 seconds. The game clock and the shot clock winding down the third quarter.
Well, they hit a 3 here going in, down only 4. They could be in pretty good position. This is a big possession.
Nash to Marion. A Laker foul. Cook may have picked it up.
That was a great pass by Steve Nash. But Sean Marion really needed that shot to go down. Working hard in this quarter, trying to get himself back into the game. Steve Nash, watch him just thread the needle. Slow on the weak side rotation. And remember, I told you, no shot blocking. The Lakers have no shot blocking, and really neither do the Suns. So go to the basket and get to the foul line.
Suns a perfect 13 of 13 from the free throw line tonight. And Marion, his first attempt tonight is in. The NBA playoffs continue on TNT tomorrow. Shaq and the Heat taking on the Bulls in Game 3 of the series. Clippers traveling to Denver. They'll take on the Nuggets. Doug and I will be there. That's a pivotal Game 3. Coverage at 7 o'clock on TNT. Suns have a foul to give with 10 seconds to play in the quarter.
Well, they better give it and not let Kobe get a shot off.
Bryant, they didn't foul.
As I said, give a foul. I mean, let him shoot a layup. But that's Kobe Bryant.
Marion at the buzzer. That's the end of 3. They took a lot of shots, but it was only 3 of 11.
He's in a good rhythm tonight, though. As I said before, you're not going to get those kind of results. So the Suns are going to have to find a way to score, especially Barbosa. 0 for 4 now tonight. Remember now in Game 1, he had 15 points, 9 in the fourth quarter.
Starting the fourth quarter in Game 1, we were tied at 75. That's after the Lakers were down by 14 and eventually took a 1-point fourth quarter lead. Tonight, Phoenix has been down by as many as 17. They closed it within 3 in the third. Vujacic is in. Odom for 3. Marion late with the defense for the Phoenix Suns. A big-time 3 for Lamar Odom.
He's hit 2 of those now with a closeout. Used all the clock.
Lakers outscored Phoenix by 13 in the second quarter. Phoenix outscored the Lakers by 8 in the third. Diaw counted for 2 and a Laker foul. It's going to go inside, and Devin George will pick it up for the Lakers.
You know, you can really see the Lakers are really trying to knock the Suns around tonight. They're getting up into their bodies. They're really crowding them at the three-point line. Devin George chesting Diaw all the way to the basket, but I think part of their game plan, and it's not been talked about much in this series, Kevin, is I think they want to knock the Suns around and get them out of their rhythm by putting their bodies on them, bumping cutters, coming off screens.
What do you think of that strategy?
They've been the most physical team tonight. I don't think there's any question about that. The Lakers have won that war so far tonight.
Bryant facing the double. Eddie House has come in for the Suns. There's a long-range shot, which is nailed by Devin George off the bench out there with Cook and Vujacic, Odom, and Bryant. Kobe's picked up number 4.
Now, Phil Jackson's always been a guy to let his stars play with fouls. We'll see if he chooses to give Kobe a little bit of a rest here with a 10-point lead.
What would you do?
Well, look at closing out quarters here, Kevin. This is what the Lakers do, so that's what championship teams have always done. Now, the Lakers obviously aren't a championship team, but plus 15 closing out quarters in a game they lead by 10.
Did you keep Kobe in?
Yeah, because he knows how to play with fouls. Absolutely.
Marion, point-blank range.
Kobe's not going to get tired, and Marion is and Nash are going to try to make a push here when Nash comes back into the game, but they're going to have to get something from Eddie House and Barbosa. Those two guys off the bench are very capable, been very quiet tonight, only 2 points combined.
Remember this about Kobe Bryant. He has played in more playoff games than all of his teammates combined. They need that experience out there. That is a Laker foul. It goes on Odom. He picks up number 2. Doug, the Phoenix bench, which had 30 points in game 1, is only 1 of 7 tonight. Then they got a total of 4 points. Bryant is on Sean Marion. Picked up by Devin George.
That's where Sean Marion has got to be able to get in there and score over Kobe Bryant. But Kobe just is so strong. He used his leverage and never let Sean Marion get his shoulders square.
Vujacic takes it in. 6 seconds on the shot clock. The Lakers will inbound. Walton is on the bench. Kwame Brown is on the bench. Smush Parker is on the bench. Those are all starters for LA.
They got 2 best players on the floor, Lamar Odom and Kobe Bryant, to sort of stabilize that unit.
Shot clock violation, out of bounds. There's some Phoenix defense. Mike D'Antoni, when he was asked about their team, he said, we got good chemistry in both kinds, on the court chemistry and off the court chemistry. They need some of that chemistry now.
Yeah, he said one's a necessity on the court, one in the locker room is a luxury. He said we have both of them. But this guy's got to get going, Barbosa. He's got to give them something. He and Eddie House have to give this team a lift. So when Steve Nash comes back into the game, they're within striking distance and have a chance to win.
Cook picked up his 4th personal foul.
Barbosa said last year, he said no question, he was very, very nervous when he came into the playoffs to play. And he said, my coach didn't trust me, and he said he shouldn't. I didn't perform. He said, this year it's different. Very, very good in game 1, 15. He has none tonight. Marion down to only 9 tonight. So that's a big difference, and they need that. And this guy as well.
House. Rebounded by Marion, tapped to Diaw. Kwame Brown has just come in, taking the place of Brian Cook for the Los Angeles Lakers. 3 for Marion. He just does not have it tonight. 3 of 12, Doug.
Just hasn't had that bounce in his step. I think playing Lamar Odom in the post is wearing him down. And that's tough to play him down there in that post. Sean Marion's a better perimeter defender than he is a post defender.
Both Marion and Odom entered the NBA in the same year, 1999. A timeout has been taken. The Lakers came in knowing that if they lost tonight, they'd be down 2 games to none. In 7-game series, 95% of the time, the team that goes up 2-0 wins the series. A lot on the line tonight for Los Angeles.
Doug, you talked about Lamar Odom. That's the guy he wants to guard.
Well, as the highest paid player on the Phoenix Suns, you can see why is Kobe Bryant beats the buzzer.
And right at the end of the shot clock. And that's what the Lakers want to do. They want to use clock. And then Kobe Bryant be Houdini at the end of that clock and make kind of plays he made just there.
Bryant's got 24. Boris Diaw has 11. Sean Marion, 9 points in 36 minutes. A game-high 27 by Nash.
See, the triangle offense is a tempo offense. You can use clock, but you have to have a guy at the end of that clock that can make things happen. Bill's had both Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan.
Vujacic took down the shot clock to single digits when he let it go and fouled inside by the Phoenix Suns. And Eddie House picks up the foul. House, number 3.
Look at the elevation on this shot and the separation. Fading back on that jump shot. Remember last game with 10 minutes to go, the Lakers were up 1. It was 80-79, and the Suns had a great finish. Tonight, with 8 minutes to go, they are going to be down 10 if Vujacic makes this. But the problem was Kobe not being in a rhythm the other day couldn't close the deal. Tonight, He's 11 of 19 with 24 points. He has 9 rebounds and 5 assists. His fingerprints are all over this game. And you always hear Charles Barkley talk about great players can beat you in a lot of ways. When they just don't score, they can do a lot of other things, and that's what Kobe's doing tonight.
Odom was on Nash. May have altered the shot. Here come the Lakers with Vujicic. Lakers, a team that won 11 more games this year than last.
See, the Lakers' big guys are quick enough to switch out on Steve Nash and bother his shot.
Dylan Thomas on Nash over on Kobe.
If he makes that, that would have been
out of a straitjacket.
That would have been too good.
Bryant is 11 of 20. Thomas for 3. Phoenix Suns have taken 21 three-point shots tonight. They've made 9. Lakers have made 8 threes in 14 tries.
It's a 2-possession game with 7 minutes to go. You're on your home floor.
Diaw is on Odom. Nash came in to help, and a foul called on Odom.
That's the defense that they wanted to play. They wanted to spin Odom baseline and run a guy at him. Watch Steve Nash. Now they're going to spin him, and Steve Nash is waiting. That's what Mike D'Antoni talked to us about before the game. Not let him come across the middle where he can make plays for other people, run him into a double team. Nash did it perfectly there.
Walton is on the bench with 4 Laker fouls. Bush Parker is over there. Vujicic taking his place. Vujicic is on Diaw. Great pass to Thomas.
Contested shot by Kwame Brown, though he got out, got his hand up. Good defensive rotation that time by Kwame Brown.
Kobe's got 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. Vujicic for 3.
They've done it all night. Hit every big shot as the Suns have been making runs. Every shot that they've needed to make.
Vujicic played 3 seasons in the Italian League. Here comes Diaw across the lane. Doug, we haven't talked a great deal about bench scoring tonight, but it is firmly entrenched with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, it's 23-11 in game 1, plus 12 for Phoenix. Tonight, it was plus 17 by the Lakers, so you got a 19-point turnaround in those 2 areas right there. So
Odom with a great slashing move.
Just quickness. Normally he likes to go to his left hand. That time they forced him to a right. But again, no shot blocking. You have no shot blocking underneath the basket.
Odom's got 21. Nash has 29.
But you can't keep trading baskets. Can you get some defensive stops? Can you get some big rebounds to give yourself a chance?
Shot clock is in single digits. Here's Kobe Bryant, picked up by Raja Bell. Weaving inside, Kobe Bryant, picked up by Thomas. And now Nash. Lakers couldn't set their defense. Barbosa with 3. Nash with the rebound.
Barbosa's got to keep shooting. One of the best three-point shooters in the league. Shoots over 44%. Cannot run away from your shot now. Teammates are counting on you.
Raja Bell. Shot clock is at 4. Brown was defending well. Came out and defended nicely to alter the shot.
The Suns have been like 1 or 2 possessions away from squeezing the Lakers a little bit. The Lakers have come up with big stops and big shots.
Every time they've answered the Suns.
Every time tonight.
There's a foul. Raja Bell will pick it up. That's a 3rd on Bell. And a timeout taken.
Little things. Get a hand up in the shooter. Maybe just a little piece of the ball. Even if he didn't, he distorted the shot. And how about Kobe Bryant, one of the best players in the NBA, saving the ball from going out of bounds.
Presented by Wendy's. And Kobe Bryant has been a playmaker as well as a scorer tonight.
Well, he got himself involved in the game early. He took the ball to the top of the floor. Phil talked about putting him in a different spot in the triangle. Really got his team involved, was active with every possession. picked and choose his spots shooting the basketball, and as a result, his team has an 8-point lead with 4:08 here to go in this fourth period.
Doug, both teams have made 9 3-point shots. It's been such a big thing for the Phoenix Suns. What's the difference tonight?
Well, the difference, plus 10 points in the paint for the Lakers, and they're even at the three-point line. I've always said when you play Phoenix, if you can stay close, disparity-wise, at the three-point line, you can beat them because you're going to beat them points in the paint.
Luke Walton is back in, dancing inside, rejected by Diaw. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Lakers will inbound, under 4 to play in regulation. First half, the Lakers had a 19-0 run. Phoenix went scoreless for 7.5 minutes. That has lingered throughout the game. Brown has been fouled inside, and Diaw was there. Now, the Suns came as close as 3, Doug, in the third quarter. But you expend so much energy just getting out of a big hole like that, like Phoenix has had to
Well,
do.
and you talked about it, Kevin. I mean, Vujacic hit some big shots, and then Devin George hit a shot, and Lamar Odom hit a couple threes. And the Lakers are 9 of 15 from 3. In game 1, they were 5 for 21.
On the ground at the free throw line. Tomorrow, NBA TV gives you Game 3, Indiana, New Jersey. Friday, ESPN, Cleveland, Washington, Game 3. Game 3, Lakers, Phoenix. Friday, ESPN 2, San Antonio, Sacramento, Game 3. Sunday, ABC, Miami, Chicago, Game 4. Phoenix, Lakers, Game 4.
You got it. Can Barbosa get it going? Can Marion get it going? Can somebody help Nash here try to get back in the game?
Marion's got 9, now he's got 11, just as you were thinking. Now 4 of 13 from the field is Sean Marion. Lakers led by 2 at the end of 1. Halftime, the Lakers were on top by 15 points. At the end of 3, the Lakers led by 7.
Look who's down in the post once again, going right to the block.
Walt, surprised he was that open. Look at the hustle of Lamar Odom. Off to Kobe Bryant. Counted for 2, or let's see. Yep, counted for 2 and a foul.
How about the play by Lamar Odom? Loose ball, you're down 7. The Suns, they can't come up with a loose ball. Odom tracks it down. You come up with this play, you can cut the lead. Look at Odom. He finds Kobe, and Kobe with emphasis. Question is, where is Steve Nash? Are his feet in the restricted area? Let's take a look here. Wow, that is, he's outside the restricted area. Remember, Kobe got a no call in game 1, down 4, when he drove to the basket late that would have made it a 2-point game, and he made his 2 free throws, a no call. Question is, was Steve Nash there when Kobe Bryant took off? Because he's outside the restricted area. That should have been a charge. Steve Nash was there. That should have been a charge.
Nash picked up his 4th foul there. Parker just picked up his 4th foul. We walk to the other end, and here is Raja Bell. Where LA picked up their 14th foul with 9:16 remaining in the 4th quarter.
And you see Phil Jackson talking to Smush Parker. It's like, look, we don't want to foul. Look at the game's clock. We're up 9 at the time, 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Make them come down and use some time to score. Don't put them on the line. Let them stop the clock. This is the #1 free throw shooting team in the NBA. They shoot 81%. This is giving them 2 points.
They're 100% tonight. 18 of 18 from the free throw line, the Phoenix Suns.
But a difference of 14 points. Remember, they had 32 points at the foul line in game 1.
Both teams have taken about the same number of shots from the field tonight as well.
They're going to trap Kobe, try to make him pass the ball.
It's Bryant over Bell.
That's a tough shot right there.
Steve Nash, Raja Bell for 2.
They are back. They will not go away. They've been 1 or 2 possessions away from trying to tie this game, and the Lakers have come up with all the big plays. I think it's going to be very important for Kobe now. They're trapping him and all these pick and rolls and all, that he's trusted his teammates all night long, that he won't force up a tough shot, and he'll move the ball to one of the guys out of that double team.
Kobe Bryant had 26 points in 42 minutes. Steve Nash has a game-high 29. Shot clock at 12. Smush Parker. Luke Walton. Kwame Brown. Lamar Odom for 3. And with the shot clock down to 7, Boris Diaw picked up by Parker. It's Barbosa. Bell's got a fire, 2, with Walton in his face, and he hits it.
Wasn't pretty, but it was effective. A one-possession game. And Phil Jackson, the guy on the outside, looks very calm, but you know his stomach has got to be doing flips right now.
Raja Bell with a playoff career-high 21 points. He's got 6 in this fourth quarter for Phoenix.
So they're going to trap him. They're going to try to make him take tough shots.
Shot clock is at 3 for Kobe Bryant. Boris Diaw had it knocked out of his hands by Lamar Odom. So the Suns will come the other way with 1:26 to play in regulation. Bell for 2. What a great rebound by Kobe Bryant, who now has a double-double with 10 rebounds and 26 points. The Suns are on a 6-0 run. There's a trap.
Kobe's stringing it out. Somebody's going to be wide open. Kwame Brown fumbles a pass. Lucky didn't get a loose ball foul there.
Shot clock at 2 for Parker, who puts it in.
Oh, very close. That was almost a loose ball foul. Kwame Brown ran over the top of Raja Bell on that loose ball. That's 2 loose balls they've picked up and gotten 4 points in a 5-point game.
Parker puts in his first points in the half. And Sean Marion. Marion tonight, 4 of 14 with 11 points. That is a Phoenix foul, and it goes on Raja Bell.
Kwame Brown fumbles this ball, and look at, he sort of runs over the top of Raja Bell. I guess they ruled like nobody had the basketball, and as a result, they picked it up. Remember, Lamar Odom picked one up, got it to Kobe Bryant, who dunked, and it was questionable whether or not that was a charge. So 2 very close plays, and the Lakers get the benefit of those plays. That's what happens in the playoffs. Well, this is sort of an amazing stat. With a minute remaining in the fourth quarter, when the Lakers were either leading or tied, they've lost 10 games. And you'd think, like with the Suns in close games, they'd be very good. But with Kobe Bryant, that they would lose 10 games with a leader being tied in the fourth quarter.
He's the number 1 fourth quarter scorer in the NBA.
That's sort of an amazing stat.
That is. Timeout taken. The Lakers and Kobe Bryant were down a game coming into this game 2. They have led throughout most of it by as many as 17.
The Lakers have done a nice job of getting control of this Phoenix team and not giving them those spurts that they normally get.
Lakers are for the game shooting 51% from the field. They've been right around that mark most of the contest. Bell can't get it away, so he locates Marion inside, and Sean puts in his 13th point tonight. That's a foul. It's on Raja Bell. Marion coming over for the pinch on Bryant. 5 on Raja Bell. ESPN's got game 3 for you on Friday. Game 4 on ESPN. No, ABC will have game 4 for you. And then next week, all TNT on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, if necessary, next week.
Well, see how quickly those games are coming. And it'll be interesting. The Suns love to play at a high tempo as Kobe misses the free throw. I thought tonight the physicality of the Lakers was the difference in the game. I thought they got into the Suns. They knocked them around. And I thought that was the difference. The Suns never got into a great rhythm tonight.
Has that been a pattern all season for the Suns when they take on a physical team?
Well, a lot of times these teams can't catch them. But tonight what happens with the Lakers being so good offensively, they shoot over 50%. The point differential at the three-point line is 0. The Lakers matched them. If the Suns don't win the three-point line big and they lose the paint, they're in trouble.
Good point. Kobe Bryant, 27 points and 10 rebounds. So the double-double for Kobe. Steve Nash leads all scorers in the game. 27 seconds to play in regulation. Bell will take it in with the dunk. It's a 4-point game. Full court Suns pressure employed on Bryant. And a foul on Bell.
You see Raja Bell, though, he's taken 2 hard fouls on Kobe to end this game. There's not going to be any touch fouls with Raja Bell and Kobe Bryant. That is not going to happen. Watch Raja here. Remember, the first play, he sort of banged him out of bounds. This time, he just sort of grabs him by the shoulder. And you see him a little slap afterwards or whatever. But there's no love lost between these two guys. Both of them tremendous competitors, and Raja Bell knows he's got his hands full every night just trying to keep Kobe Bryant somewhat in check.
But as Bryant has said publicly, as Bell is fouled out with 23, he said, I've got bigger fish to fry than Raja Bell.
Well, you know, Raja Bell struggled in game 1. He was 1 of 7. He got it going tonight. But Kevin, 21-4 bench scoring. Leandro Barbosa, none. Eddie House, 2. James Jones, 2. Yep. If the Suns don't win the bench, they should have a decided advantage over Sasha Vujacic, Devin George, and Brian Cook. And tonight, that was not the case.
Doug, their bench during the regular season has averaged 30 points a game.
And tonight, they get 4.
How about that? Here's Nash for 3. Nice defense by George. Here comes Parker.
See, that's where if you're Lamar, you don't need that pass. Just pick up the dribble and hold it. The game is over. That's not going to matter. But it's little plays like that where you just hold on to the ball.
Doug, and as you said earlier, both teams hit 9 3-point shots apiece tonight, and that has been such an advantage for the Suns all season.
It's going to be fun tomorrow night to go in to see what the Clippers' mindset is. Are they happy getting 2 at home? Or are they going to go in there and try to put the hammer down and go up 3-0?
There's another interesting element tonight. We came on the air and told you that Steve Nash had beaten the Los Angeles Lakers 8 consecutive games. And now this is the first time in 9 games the Lakers, with Nash on the other side, have beaten the reigning MVP.
Well, you have to know right now in Los Angeles, pretty happy group of people. The Clippers up 2-0, and you have the Lakers up 1-1 now with the home court advantage. People in LA saying, I know there's a long way to go, but how about the Lakers and the Clippers in the second round if that comes about?
An important win for the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. Kobe Bryant, 29 and 10. 21 points for Odom, but let's go to David Aldridge standing by with Kobe.
Kobe, you guys had the tempo you wanted, and it looked like tonight you made those shots that you didn't make the other day.
Yeah, well, you know, it took a game for us to kind of get adjusted to it. And, you know, we came out tonight, played within the flow. You know, everybody played extremely well. I mean, our bench came in, gave us a big lift. You know, Lamar played incredible. Kwame gave us a big lift. I mean, it was just all around good team game.
You guys had a concerted effort to run them off the three-point line, make them dribble and make twos. Do you think you did a good job of that?
Yeah, you know, we do. You know, it's you know, with this team, you have to work hard the whole time they have possession. You know, you can't get lazy. You can't have mental lapses. You got to continue to run all the way through. You know, if somebody helps and, you know, you're forced to collapse, you got to continue to run and have great energy on the defensive end.
The first 2 games of this series, really, you've had everything you wanted, I think, in terms of how the game has gone. Now, going back home, do you think that continues, or what do you expect to see?
Well, you know, we expect to step it up a little bit. And, you know, this is going to be a hell of a series. And, you know, we're looking forward to the challenge. And, you know, we got the best of them tonight. I'm sure they'll be ready the next game.
Kobe, thanks.